Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Strawberry Shift. That's right, where we have lots of enthusiasm for love. And you are here, my friend, day 20. Day 20 for Celebrate Compassion. I am applauding you. I'm applauding you. This is so awesome. And today is very special. We are going to wrap up this incredible experience and journey together with an awesome bow. Are you ready? So now you have this foundation of this self-compassion. You've gone through the tunnel of darkness with looking at yourself and the either annoyance or maybe even hatred and resentment towards someone in your life that you realized was actually a teacher. Namaste. Look at how you've grown, adding value in your local community. You've shared your story. You've listened to other people share their story. Look at that. Let's take a moment and pause. Richard Rudd would be proud of us. Let's take a moment and pause and reflect and look at how far you've come. Look at what you've gone through and what you've learned about yourself, and how now when you're reflecting on the things that you're most proud of, this is such a deep and beautiful conversation. And whether you realize it or not, you are positively impacting everybody around you. And today is going to be fun. Today is going to be fun because today you get to really use your power, because you're powerful. You're powerful because you have worked on igniting what's in every human being. And you've worked on igniting this inner passion and this inner compassion that is in every single one of us. It's just dormant. So going through this and going through these exercises, and some of these exercises may seem simple, but rubbing two sticks together is simple, right? But it makes fire. So you've ignited this compassion inside of you. And so when you have this inside of you, you have new eyes, you have new ears. You pay attention to things that are different than we're dormant with our compassion. Today, we're going to use this power. We're going to use this power for good. And today I invite you to find a local hero who you personally are going to highlight the best you know how. You might not have a lot of connections, or, I've had some clients where they have had access to their local media, or they know how to reach out to their local media. But this is where you get to have some fun and be creative. Today is all about, we're not getting to that step yet. We're going to talk about that on our finale on day 21. Today is getting curious about who you really want to celebrate in your local community. Because here's the truth. Again, going back to our toxic culture. Part of what makes our culture toxic is who we praise. It's who we go, yay, to. It's who we're giving our money and paying our attention to, right? That's, who the kids are looking up to, right? That's what makes our culture toxic. And so when each of us start doing our part with picking out, I'm going to pick, like for me, Dominique, who is this incredible woman. She went through a divorce, and then she started this farm during COVID, during 2020, and now she's rescuing all these animals. And people call her every single week saying, hey, can you take my rooster? Can you take my pig? Can you take my horse? Like every single week. And she has to turn people down. And sometimes people are mean to her. Like, I want her to have like a bodyguard or just like someone else to take over answering all her calls and emails. But she spends all her money taking care of these elderly animals. That's a hero. That's awesome. And people don't know about her. People don't know about her strength and her generosity. And that's unfreaking believable. Her dedication and her commitment. She doesn't have to do that. She doesn't have to save these animals. And these are animals that 99.9% of the world's population kill and eat for food. Yet she is saving them and giving them life and caring for them and sacrificing so much of her time, energy, and money. She inspires me. So that's who I'd like for you to pick as someone who personally inspires you. Don't pick with your head. Don't pick who do I think I should pick, especially not in that voice. But pick who who inspired, like Dominique inspires me. I'm like, wow, I'm not that generous. I'm not. Generosity isn't something that you just decide. Generosity is not something that you willpower. Generosity is a muscle that you build. Saying, I'm generous or I'm going to be more generous and just decide is just as naive and ignorant as saying, I'm going to grow big muscles just because you're going to decide to do that. You know, being around someone like Dominique, understanding her and interviewing her and highlighting her to the people that I know. And I have my followers on Facebook and social media, and that's where I share her and her story. But we're going to talk about sharing tomorrow. Today is just about deciding. Today is having fun. Like, who do you want to highlight? And if you don't know, this is where I invite you to get curious. This is where I invite you to just, have your antennas up. You could ask your neighbors, ask some of your friends, some of your family, who do they admire, who's local, and it might spark something in you. So if no one is obvious to you yet, that's okay. This is where you're going to have some fun. This is where it's an adventure. You don't know who you're going to pick yet. It's like The Bachelor, who are you going to give your rose to, or The Bachelorette, So this is where you get to decide who is doing some incredible work, like just incredible work, whether it be for people or animals or Mother Earth or children or for the elderly, and they're not being acknowledged. And they're not doing it to be acknowledged, which makes them even more amazing. Like Dominique doesn't care about being acknowledged. She doesn't need that. But the world needs to know about her. That's why I love acknowledging her. And they're human. It's also going to feel good for them to be acknowledged, I believe. Who do you want to celebrate? Who do you want to pick out of everyone in your local community and town and city? Who do you want to say, you know what, that person deserves an applause? Because you know what? It feels good. It feels good to be applauded. It feels good to be acknowledged. So that's it. That's it today. It's just decide, go on an adventure, ask around, ask your heart. Most importantly, this person needs to inspire you, because that inspiration is going to be contagious. That inspiration is going to be obvious to others when you share. Like, can't you tell I'm a little bit of a fan of Dominique? So I'm so excited for you to decide who is this beautiful lucky soul for you to highlight and celebrate. And then tomorrow, day 21, we'll talk about how you're going to share. Take care, my friend.